WBS 87 Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, WBHH, and on iHeartRadio, the home of the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. This is Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Streaming online at beatbreakradiofm.com. The views and opinions expressed on this program does not necessarily reflect those of Beat Break 87 FM, Reach One Communications, volunteers, staff, and management of Reach One Communications.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yeah. This is Mario, and I would like to welcome you into another episode of the Random Select Podcast right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's new underground station where talk and music radio lives. I want to say good Monday to everybody. Hope you had a great, productive, fun weekend, all of that jazz, all of that good stuff. For most people, this is a 3-day weekend because it is Dr. King's holiday, and I just hope you guys take a moment to remember, reflect, and observe one of the greatest Afro-Americans we have ever laid eyes on and had the privilege to listen to some of his riveting speeches, who paved the way to help us get to a point where we could be successful and start trying to make headway into the color barriers. I mean, we're not all the way there, and I'll get into some of that a little bit later on, but I appreciate how far we have come, and you guys should too. Hope it wasn't too cold where you guys were at this weekend, you know. Hope this weekend was something fun and fulfilling. Got a chance to get your playoffs in, got a chance to watch some football and things of that nature. But today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about sometimes as black men, you know, and I know y'all guys say, wow, he's only been one weekend. And he's already, you know, talking about black men, this, black men, that, we don't treat our women right. And that's just not the point I try to come across as saying. But, I mean, fellas, if we start looking at it realistically, we'll see that some things definitely need to be changed. And I'm not saying it's all the fellas, because, you guys are definitely going to see me have my shows where I talk about the women as well. So it's just having pretty much got to that point yet, because I've mixed in a few thoughts here and there about certain things, but I haven't really got to the full array of how I feel, because I kind of wanted to ease my way into the first week, you know, on Beat Break 87 FM, as opposed to my normal way that I am on the podcast regularly. But I just want to say the first week I think was really cool. So we're going to just keep it going. But I just wanted to say really quick that I just want to ask the question, black men, where are you? Since this is King's holiday, this is a podcast that I previously recorded that I done a while back that I'm just bringing back up at this particular point, and I'm going to play for you guys. And I just simply asked the question, you know, black man, where are you? And it's sort of like me sitting down and talking, I guess, to myself, you know, talking to, you know, a character of myself, or just stepping outside myself, as they say, having a conversation with myself. And I just ask myself, black man, where are you? You know, and that's pretty much how this podcast came about. I was sitting, taking a hard look at my life. And I was asking myself, you know, where are we, you know, as a people, you know, and I think about some of the things I've done in my life, you know, some shady things that wasn't right, you know, that you look back on now, you say, man, if I could go back in time at this particular moment, I would stop it right here and I would fix this. because sometimes we do the type of damage as human beings. I'm not talking about it as a man. I'm not talking about it as a black person, but I'm talking about it as a human being. Sometimes we do damage that we don't even realize that to another person, it's unfixable. It's just so bad that they take that on and can't be productive with other human beings and other peoples and other relationships, friendships, and as they like to say in today's world, situational ships. No matter how you want to term it, partnerships, no matter how you want to term it, sometimes the damage we do, as we like to say, the collateral damage, is just far-reaching, has far-reaching effects. It casts a web, it casts a shadow that's deeper and darker than we could ever have imagined or ever thought it would be, So I just wanted to kind of get into it and just ask the question, black man, where are you? And just say that I know it's a lot of strong black men out there doing what they supposed to do, and I applaud that. Be the first one to give you a hand and say, bravo, congratulations. But fellas, we got to get more in there to do it. We got to get to the point where we got to just say that our lives matter to us. And I know Black Lives Matters, and I know all lives matter, and I know no matter what color you are, your life matter. But we got to start thinking before we ask any other group of people to value our lives. We got to value our lives. So with that being said, we're going to get into this podcast, guys. And in this episode, I'm talking to the fellas. I'm talking to my fellow black man. And I'm asking, where are you? Isn't it time for us to step up to the plate and take some accountability as to what's going on in our community? What's going on, particularly with our women? And isn't it time for us to start saying that something is wrong? We have an epidemic on our hands because some of us have devalued our women so much till they don't even know what their self-worth is anymore. And some of us are not being there for our kids. Therefore, you're leaving a woman trying to raise a kid, and you're asking a boy in particular to become a man when he has no concept of what being a man is. So I'm asking black men, where are you? Isn't it time for us to step up to the plate and reclaim what we used to be? We used to be a tight-knit community. We used to have pride in one another. Now if someone is doing bad, we talk about them. We don't lend a helping hand. We're killing each other in the streets. But we want to blame cops for all our issues and all our problems. We kill way more of each other than cops do every year. Two black people can kill each other, but it's fine. But as soon as a white cop kill a black person, we have issues with it. Our priorities have strayed off path so much. Do we even know as a ethnic group what we stand for anymore? We got a lot of things that could be going for us, but our claim to fame above all else is that Obama is the president. We have a black man that's the president. So now we feel that our job is done. We have arrived. There's nothing else to do. When that couldn't be further from the truth. So I'm asking black man, where are you? Do I have to put up missing flyers out around town, out around the country? And I'm not lumping all black men into the same category. I'm just saying as a whole, it just seems like our women are going down paths that women would never have done just 10 years ago. Women are fighting in the streets like men. Women are running drugs and just doing all type of ungodly things that you would think that men and gangsters would do. More women are acting like they're thugs and gangsters than guys are. More women are taking care of households and raising kids than guys are. More women are finishing school and doing what they have to do more than guys are. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that we should equal out the playing field and do our part. Because we're starting to let our women feel that we as black men, we ain't shit. So therefore, they don't need us, and they could do all the essential things that they have to do, like take care of the kids and go to school and get good jobs and buy homes and houses and be perfectly content with not having us. And when we get to the point where our black women are starting to think that we're not necessary because we bring in more harm to their life than good, we're bringing them down, then fellas, we have a problem. We have a problem when our African black queen feels as if we're not necessary. Because let's look at it from a realistic standpoint. They really don't need us to give birth anymore. In vitro is taking care of that. You could say they need us for love and companionship. Well, the way social media is set up, the way chat lines and data lines are set up, most women would be comfortable and happy with just talking with people over the phone, just to have a chat companion and go out and do all the other stuff themselves. And we already know that they definitely believe in Bob, the battery operated boyfriend. So look at it realistically. As black men, where are you? You don't realize that slowly but for surely we are being phased out like television with tubes in them. We are being phased out. Unless we reinvent ourselves and become flat screens, we're being phased out. And it's a shame, because the problem with that is that through a lot of different various channels, a lot of different reasons, a lot of different avenues, we have just gotten to the point where we just do not value the women the way we used to. And there's no other way around it. There's no other way to say it. Even when you listen to, and I'm a hip hop fan. I love hip hop just as much as the next hip hop fan. But we gotta get to the point where we gotta stop slandering these women in the music. We gotta get to the point where we are getting the women to dance to music where they're pretty much telling them, y'all ain't nothing. You could be replaced if you don't do this, if you don't get your girlfriend to get her girlfriend. I want to pull three, I want to switch it up, I want to foursomes. And I ain't knocking that. If that's what you into, then that's what you into. But you got to remember, just like an earlier generation of music influenced us to think a certain way, this generation of music right here is going to influence these kids to think a certain way. So by the time these kids get to the point where they're having sex and trying to get their first little boyfriends and fall in love, it won't mean anything. Because to them, casual sex will be just that, casual sex. You meet somebody, do him and his friends, and it's all good, because this is what the girls think they're supposed to do. These what the girls are expecting the guys to expect. And realistically, black man, if you got kids, you got a daughter, like Chris Rock said, you just want to keep your daughter off the pole. Is this where we really want this to head? Is this where we want things to go? Black men, where are you? Isn't it time to draw a line in the sand and say, hey, look, we got to take this thing back somehow. We got to get to the point where even if you don't want the woman, we got to start treating them with respect. Even if you feel you can't be with her, you gotta take care of your kids. Just because you're not with her doesn't mean you abandon the kid. Even if you're not in the household with your kid should know without a shadow of a doubt that my father is there for me and my father loves me. Like I said, I'm not saying this is all black men. I'm just doing, I guess, my warped version of a public service announcement. Black men, where are you? I just want to know, what can we do? And I know I could sit here and say, well, we should take it back. We should get back to the point where we respected the women. We should get back to the point where our family is the number one priority. But even I don't have any ideas of how we get it back, or what can we do. Because this cat is so out the bag. Could you ever get it back in the bag? Because the whole, I want to be famous, my 15 minutes of fame, the money, the ball out of control, the hot boy thing, that drives everything. Now, everybody want to be famous and everybody want to be rich. Nobody realized that someone has to be the in-between. Someone gotta, dump the garbage. Someone gotta clean the streets. Someone, gotta work at Walmart. Someone gotta provide, basic services. No one feel like, when you talk to a young kid today, I hardly ever hear, and I talk to a lot, especially my kids' friends, ask them what they want to be when they grow up. Everybody want to be an actor, movie star, ball player. Not one of them ever say, oh, doctor, dentist, lawyer. That's just the world we live in. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that places like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and all these places can elevate people and bring them a certain level of fame, a certain level of success. But what about the rest of us? What about the, everyday, ordinary Joe? I mean, nowadays, somebody make a love song and they get ridiculed, or if they do make a good love song, somebody got to rap in it. Whatever happened to just a good old-fashioned R&B love song without any rappers? So I ask again, black man, where are you? When are we going to get to the point where we just say enough is enough? We got to get our kids back under control. We got to get the fathers back into the homes. We got to get the kids to the point where they realize that if I do this, what I'm thinking about, when I come home, my father is going to get in my ass. See, these kids don't have a healthy fear of anybody anymore. And that's part of the problem. They don't have a healthy fear of anybody. They don't have a healthy respect for anybody. And you got most of the people that's supposed to be controlling things, like at schools and stuff like that. You got all those people, administrators and teachers, running around afraid of the kids. How can you ever reach and teach someone if you're afraid of them? And that's another thing. We've given kids way too much control. We've given kids, I don't know. I'm just asking, black man, where are you? Let's not depend on the penitentiary system to raise our kids. Because once they get kicked out of school, I mean, where's the next logical thing for them if they're not getting an education, if they're of lower income, lower intelligence? People already think that school is just a holding cell for prison. And you got so many people referring to school as that for these kids, for these boys. We've taken casual drug use and made it where, it's okay. Everybody rapping about drugs, everybody doing drugs. And like I saw on Facebook the other day, did I miss something? When is it okay? When did it become okay to be a junkie? Explain that to me. When did it become okay to be a drug addict? When did it become okay to walk around and have no shame about you doing drugs? When we was coming up, drugs was a shameful thing, and it was kind of, done in the back alleys late at night. You saw the crack addicts walking. You might see them smoking in an empty apartment or something like that, but it was never like it is now. I mean, you got doctors out there pushing drugs. Doctors are just professional drug dealers these days. Oh, you got a minor back pain? Let's push you some high-powered oxycodone. Oh, you got a migraine headache? Oh, let's give you something that'll knock that headache clean out. Oh, and did I forget to mention, if you take it too much, it might be a little habit forming. Therefore, you might have to come back to me for more and more and more. I will prescribe it to you, and each time you come, I'm gonna take that little copay and charge you for services rendered. And that way, we keep a perpetual relationship between you and me. I need to charge your insurance. You need the pills. Let's make it happen. I don't want to labor on this. I just want to know, how can we get it back? Black man, where are you? I mean, it's been a while since you've made an appearance. The world waiting on you. The world waiting on you to make that incredible comeback. Your kids need you. Your women need you. So come on, black man. You've been gone too long. It's time to come on back. Thank you. Random Select is out. All right, guys, we're going to leave that right there because we're up against the break. But I just had to play that for you guys I thought it would be appropriate right here on Dr. King's holiday to just ask the question, black man, where are you? And like I said, I wasn't really talking about anybody in particular. I was sitting down asking myself that question, This week on the podcast, guys, we're going to have, I think on Tuesday, tomorrow, or either Wednesday. I'm not quite sure which day it's going to be, but we're going to have, I'm kind of going to do a show where it's going to be relationship experts on that. I'm going to have Rick Soderbeer, relationship coach. I'm going to have Quinette Wubido. She's a relationship coach. She teaches women how to date with confidence, clarity, and conviction. And I'm going to have author Tony Henderson Mayers, who is the author of The Wise Courtship Philosophy. So keep it locked right here, guys. We're going to have those people on this week definitely at some point. I don't know, will they be scheduled for the same show, or will I kind of spread them out? But either way, they'll be on this week. On this particular show, we're going to have, hopefully we can get Decatur Maid Dave and the Frost Giant Will on the show. It just depends on, everybody taking advantage of this long weekend, and so you can't blame them, people, you know what I mean? So we're asking them to take time out their busy day to come hang out with us. But I think you guys are worth hanging out with. What you think? Like I said, at some point I'm going to get everything up and running where I can get callers in and do some stuff Facebook Live wise, where I can take calls and get questions and have feedback from you guys, and just kind of expand the show a little bit in that aspect, in that regard. So once I announce the schedule, be looking for us on Facebook Live. Whatever I record from Facebook Live and whatever I get in the interface, I'll be definitely playing on the show, guys. So this might be an abbreviated show because of the holiday, because I don't want to keep you guys too long. So it just depends on, how everything go. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting that interface with the phone lines and getting everything up and running like that. I think that'd be a really cool thing to have a live go between me and some fans, or me and some people that's not fans. But either way it go, they just want to bring thought-provoking talk to the table. And I'm always down for that, because This is Random Select. This the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. And you're right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's new underground station where talk and music radio lives. So I'll catch you guys after the break.
Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Hi, this is Clifford English, your host and producer of The Gospel Train. Join me every Sunday right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. You will be encouraged, you will be equipped, you will be educated, you will be entertained, all while hearing the best in gospel music. Don't miss your connection with The Gospel Train right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist, Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a boat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela!
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high to have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Beat Break 87 FM wants to help you get the word out on your next community event.
Hey, do you have an upcoming public service announcement that you want listeners to know about? Well, email us the info to psabeatbreak87fm@gmail.com so we can help spread the word. That's psabeatbreak87fm@gmail.com. If your event flyer has the words nonprofit, community, support, charity, and just describes everything about helping our community, please share the special event right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
When it comes to hip-hop,
Don't stop.
R&B, and talk radio, no one does it better than Beat Break 87 FM.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back from the break. You're back inside the Random Select podcast. I am your host, Mario, and we're right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where talk and music radio lives. And we're celebrating this King holiday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Well, maybe not for you Atlanta fans. Atlanta went up to Philadelphia and they lost. Sorry I didn't mention it in the first segment, but you know, I was kind of giving y'all some time to get over the heartbreak. Maybe me well, not maybe, but I know for a fact if I can get Decatur Made Dave and the Frost Giant Will on the show today, we definitely will be talking about that. But they had a good run. I mean, people wanted to say Super Bowl hangover and all that type of stuff, but for whatever reason, they made it back and they just couldn't get it going. But nevertheless, think about all the teams that didn't make it to the playoffs. All right. In this particular segment, I'm going to play some clips from this lady. Her name is Miko Dooley. I've talked to her personally before. She's out of Chicago, and she's a beautician, a cosmetologist. She does hair, but she comes on Facebook from time to time and have some very poignant things to say. And some of the clips that I'm going to play, I think is appropriate to play on this King holiday, you know. Before we get into all of that, I just want to tell you guys, if you like the show, you like what you're hearing, please share it. Tell a friend, tell somebody to listen in to the Random Select podcast hosted by me, Mario. Most of you guys who listen, are probably, connected with me on social media at some point in some fashion. So please share, guys. You see me put it up on the Facebook page, on the Twitter page, on the Instagram page, or Sean, share it. Let people know. We definitely want to get the listenership up. If you want to catch the shows on demand, guys, go ahead and download the Beat Break mobile app. You can catch the shows on demand. Go ahead, and if you can, you can catch it over on speaker too. Or you can go to beatbreak87fm.com and, it's going to be all type of links there depending on what your platform, what your app of choice is. You could download stuff over there as well. So, last week was the first week, and I think it was a really good week. We put out a lot of good content. We talked about a lot of different subjects, and as time go on and I get really comfortable and slide into this particular format, this particular platform, things will open up and we will talk about a lot of different things. I know I kind of spent the first week on like love and relationship and things of that nature, but you know, that's pretty much my lane, my forte, but this is the Random Select, all about thought-provoking talk. I will open it up and we'll kind of go all over the place. So you don't have to worry about that, in that regard. So, also guys, go to the Facebook page and, like the page and things of that nature. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, all those different places. This is pretty much just a little plug to let you know that, hey, we're out here, and like I said, we're going to be talking, I'm going to play some clips from Miko Dooley, and then I'll come back and give some commentary on it. I mean, she got a bunch of interesting things to say. So, let's get into it and see what she's talking about, guys.
Accept the things that you cannot change. And some of those things is the past. Now, one thing I don't like, and I'm getting sick and tired of hearing all my African Americans talk about the past. That doesn't deem you as an intelligent person because you remember in 1776 and 1676 and April's 1970. That's why I failed history, damn it, when I was in school. Because all that stuff never made sense to me. It was still a human being wrong. A human.
I just want to say that I did reach out to Ms. Dooley, and we talked, like I said in the, earlier, before we played the clip, and talked to her and got her permission to use this. So we're good. I don't know. I agree with her that sometimes we do focus on the past, but I know they say you should learn from the past or you're doomed to repeat it. But sometimes we get so focused on looking behind us that sometimes it clouds where we are right now, and it clouds you looking forward, cause the past is great, and we needed a lot of pioneers and a lot of, courageous and selfless people to help us get to where we have gotten to. People like Dr. Martin Luther King. But somewhere along the way, I think that we have kind of forgot where we supposed to be trying to head. And don't get us wrong. I mean, things are way much better than, picking cotton from sun up to sundown, going out the back door of restaurants, can't come in the front, sitting in the back of the bus, things of that nature. which is kind of ironic because when I was growing up, as soon as we jump on MARTA, the first thing we would like to do is head to the back of the bus, even though people fought, died, struggled, got dogs sicked on them and water hoses let on them, hit with bricks as they marched, because of the right to not have to go to the back of the bus. You'd be able to sit where you want. But I can remember as a kid, our favorite place was to go to the back of the bus. And I'm just really thinking about that now, which is ironic. I wish I would have had enough self-awareness at the time to not participate in that, but that's exactly where we headed, straight to the back of the bus. I don't know whether it was conditioned in us or what. I guess we wanted to be farther away from the bus driver so we could do the shenanigans that we liked to do back then. But now I really sit here as an adult and think about that, and I feel a little ashamed that was our mentality. And this is what I be trying to tell people all the time. You see how that self-awareness, it never stops growing. Your conscious mind never stops growing, adapting, and becoming something more, because that really didn't just dawn on me till right now, guys. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. It just dawned on me now that when we would catch MARTA, and we stayed over there on the east side, we used to catch the 4 Grady Hospital downtown, or coming back the other way, it was 4 Federal Prison. We would flock right to the back of the bus. And I remember doing reports on Rosa Parks and the Montgomery boycotts and, Alabama boycotts and things of that nature. And it just hit me. So that's why being part of the conscious community is a great thing, but not every part of the conscious community or the conscious social movement is right. Just like with everything, you got good and bad Republicans, you got good and bad Democrats. It's always going to be a sect of something that's not right, that you don't agree with. I mean, you got good black people, but you got some radical thinking black peoples out there. I mean, if you really think about it, they're just at the opposite end of the white supremacist spectrum. They're black supremacists, And before you guys say there's no such thing as black supremacists, yeah, there really are such thing as black supremacists. We just don't view it that way because we're the person that they're on our side. So you don't see it like that. Once you feel oppressed and you feel like you're the oppressed person, anything that resembles fighting for you or on your side, you're down for, without even giving it a second thought, not really meaning, really thinking about that they could do more harm than good. But we just need to feel that someone is fighting for us. And I don't have a problem with that. I just think that, white supremacists aren't good. Black supremacists aren't good. We need to find solutions where everybody can meet in the middle. But at the same time, you got to be able to have open debate and talk about it. But back to what she was saying about the past, we got to get to the point where we be cognizant and conscious of what we're trying to do right now. Martin Luther King and Andrew Young and all those Reverend Lauer and all those people, they had their fight and they fought the good fight and they got us to where we need to be right now. We need to have a new group of people step up and carry on the good fight. They had their time. They fought in their way. We need to have our time and fight in our way, All right, let's see what else Ms. Dooley is talking about.
You know why we get denied? Because we too busy cashing other people's checks. We too busy filing income taxes and we ain't work. We too busy selling drugs and allowing it. Come on now, women, you're allowing your brothers to come home. I'm guilty of it too. Coming home with guns, coming home selling drugs, trying to make ends meet. We've allowed a lot of stuff to happen in our communities, but we don't want to take accountability for that. This is real. How do we clean up our act? By cleaning ourselves up. Clean your neighborhood up. Get the garbage up. Stop loitering.
Well, she definitely got a point there. Where I understand that sometimes, depending on what your financial situation is, you have to do what you have to do to survive. I'd be the last person to tell a person, hey, weigh your options out and do what you feel you think is best. Because I've definitely had times in my life where I had to weigh out doing what I thought was best. And I know sometimes I made a decision where it wasn't the best decision. And ultimately it turned out to be the very wrong decision. But at the time I felt that those were my choices and that's what I had to do. And some stuff I just knew was wrong right from the get-go without even having to make any choices. I just knew it was wrong. But she got a point. We are just letting too much bad behavior go. We're letting too many things happen on our watch. But then we complain about the overall totality of what's going on in our communities, what's going on in our neighborhoods. When, as they say, you want to start to build something, you start to fix something, you got to start right there in your home. We're letting too many guys get away with stuff. We're saying, oh, that's just Ray being Ray. You know, that's just Lil Pookie being Lil Pookie. You know what I mean? But no, just because that's what we saying that's him, that doesn't make what he's doing right. That doesn't make what he doing should be excused, should be acceptable. We're just letting a lot of things happen on our watch that we got to kind of try to rein in, pull back a little bit. And I'm not saying that there's always going to be turmoil. There's always going to be some type of stress or some type of thing, or some type of drama that everybody's going to be going through. We all got it in our life. It just depends on where you're at in your life, what type of stress, drama, or turmoil it is. But ultimately, you want to try to do the right things in that. But I know when you out there on the grind, you in the hood, you trying to get your hustle on, and you trying to keep the lights on, you trying to feed your family. You know, you got a baby and a baby mama they got their hands out. Everybody got their hands out. And right now, because maybe you've made a few mistakes in the past, people ain't hiring, you know, you maybe got a few convictions on your record, but in your hearts of hearts, you know, you're trying to do the right thing. But right now, the right thing just ain't in front of you to do. So you still gotta make it happen. And I understand my back is being up against that wall too, people. And it's easy to say right now that I'm a middle-aged man, you know, seem like I'm standing on my soapbox preaching down to you guys, but I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to say you gotta try to fight every inner demon you got to try to find a better way to keep you out of prison, you know, to keep you out of the ground, to keep you above ground, to keep you from being dead. You know, because ultimately we know all the wrong stuff that we doing leads to not right places. We know that at some point, all our choices, all the things that we do have consequences when we doing the wrong thing. Just like when you do the right thing, they have good consequences, good things happen to you. But we ultimately know when you out there living, as they say, you living all foul, you know, you living a certain way, you know, you getting yours in, you a hustler. A lot of times people, when we say, babe, I'm out here getting them hustling, that usually means something bad, you know, and I'm not saying you got good hustlers, people's out there on the grind really trying to make it happen, you know what I mean? But a lot of times when they say you doing dirt, you out there hustling. I mean, hey, it is what it is. And some of y'all women, y'all got to be better women for the men and say, hey, look, babe, I love you. I care about you. I got your back. But I want for you to try to do the right thing. And we always think we got to hit the ground running being a CEO. There's nothing wrong with going to work a job at UPS. It may not be paying you the most, but you're holding your head up high. You're doing right by your kids. You're doing right by your girl. And now she's starting to look back at you, you know, where she feels like, I'm glad my baby about them streets. Cause y'all don't know, fellas, how much these women's be praying for us. Y'all don't know how many nights they get down on their knees and they just wish that we get out these streets. Just wish that we stop selling these drugs. Just wish that we stop scamming and conning people. Wish we stop robbing people. These women really hold us down, guys. And I'm just saying we should try to do more to hold them down. All right. Let's see what Miko talking about.
Let me tell y'all another thing about these pastors. These pastors sitting in these poverty-stricken neighborhoods, driving off in Bentleys and Cadillacs. Check it out. They so busy preaching the same sermon every Sunday. This is your season. How many of y'all jumped up and hollered, spoke with some fake tongue, and said, this is my season, girl. This is my season. God, the pastor told me this is my season. But your season ain't came yet. No, we're not supporting just because you're black. We're supporting you if you got a good business, because we need the good people to step up to show the world that we are good. We are not bad people just because we're brown. That's what this movement is about. This movement isn't about listening to the same thing we've been telling each other for years. Oh, you know, so-and-so got hung, and that person, and Madam C.J. Walker, and all this, and peanut butter. Man, look, let me tell y'all something. I can't do nothing about the past.
I don't mean to make light of it, but peanut butter. She can't do nothing about the past. And I just go back to what I'm saying. She just pretty much saying is that some of us are so caught up on trying to tell people, oh, you know, we invented this and we invented that, which I don't have no problem with it. You know, they saying that, you know, this person and that person, you know, the same thing happened in the 60s. So if the same thing happened in the 60s and it's 2018 right now, isn't that kind of what she's saying is that it's not changing? Is anything, what is truly changing? Because right now we're so comfortable. We're making money and life is better now. We don't have to pull together anymore because we can afford to stay over here in this nice house and they can stay over there in that nice house. I can remember when I was younger, when we would pull extension cords to help your neighbor when they lights got cut off so they kids can eat, so they can have light and stuff like that. You know, I remember when I was younger and my mom would saw a little girl walking past and I'd be out playing and be one of my friends and she was like, baby, you know, what's your name? She was like, oh, my name is Karen. Karen, baby, come here. I'm gonna get a comb and let me do your hair, baby. And without judgment, without anything, because my mom couldn't stand to see a little girl walking around without her hair being dead. You know, that's the way we looked out for each other. And then, you know, she say, hey, tell your mama, you know, my name, Mary Ann, and she want to come around here. I don't mind doing it for you, baby. That's the way we were. Now we'll talk about the people. We'll say they ought to know better than having that little girl come out of here with her hair being done like that. You know what I mean? What happened to the unity? Now, if somebody's doing bad, all we do is talk about them and we won't even give them a helping hand. But yet and still let somebody come on Facebook and give somebody a hardship story, go GoFundMe page. We ready to just go dump money into it, but we won't help the neighbor. We won't help in our community. We'll help somebody 1,000 miles away before we help the person next door, before we help the person down the street. I've seen all type of women in my neighborhood out here cutting grass and doing things with no men around. And I'm always the first one to say, excuse me, ma'am, could I help you? A lot of them, because they've become prideful and independent women, will say no. But I got a lady who lives right across the street from me. She got to be easily 65, 70. And she's still out there pushing the lawnmower and not asking for help every time she say no. So I'm not just one of those people preaching. I'm just trying to tell you that when I see things, I try my best to help. If I see a kid out here being bad, I just don't let it go unchecked. Cause now we so afraid of the kids that no one wants to say anything to a kid being bad. I cannot watch a kid, in all honesty, on my watch be bad. I just can't do it. I wasn't raised that way. Like me and my friend Dave, we feel the same way. We just can't watch kids be bad. I got to say something. I'm not going to be rude or put my hand on your kids, but I will say, hey man, won't y'all stop throwing rocks around this person's car for y'all make a mistake and hit this car? People are afraid to say something because they're afraid that the kids are going to shoot you. And sometimes all these kids need is a little discipline. But we're afraid to do it because we have been conditioned to stay in our little shell, stay in our zone, and don't say nothing. Just keep letting stuff happen on our watch. But we sit back on our phones and on our tablets and behind the computer and we bitch and moan about everything. But we don't ever want to come off from behind those devices and make stuff really happen. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's see what else she's talking about.
If you're a good man, and you got a good woman at home, take your ass at home because it's evident they don't like you. And until we get our stuff in order, women, protect your men and protect your children. Get your sons out them streets. Clean up your neighborhoods. Think smarter and stop hating on each other. I'm tired of this hate. I'm tired of it. We do better by lifting each other up than hating each other.
Now, guys, you got to be able to understand and feel the passion in her voice when she says this. The very first time I heard this, I was like, this is a woman who truly feels passionate about trying to make a change, wanting to make the change, and serious about getting us up out them streets for the women to take care of our kids, for the men to take care of the women, and for the women to try to help get these kids up out these streets and take care of our community and take care of our neighborhoods. 'Cause it's gotten to the point where, think about some of you guys. You're living next door to people that you probably don't even know. Like, if something happened, could you count on the neighbors to have your back or to know who's supposed to be coming and going? If you go out of town, can somebody pull your trash can back up to your garage for you or get your mail for you? Because we live next to people we just don't even know. And I understand in today's world you can't have everybody in your business and not everybody you want to know or need to know. But it's just a shame that we live in a society now where we're all connected so much more now through social media, but in our real personal lives, we're more disconnected than at any time ever in the history of the world. Why is that? Why can we be connected by devices that we hold in our hands, but we can't be connected where you could physically go shake somebody's hand? And her passion as far as this just says that when a woman feels that way, it says a lot. It says that why can't we get it right? And sometimes I think about that. How come every time on Facebook you see something, somebody always have to have some negative to say? I just don't understand. Why would you go out your way to waste your time to go back and forth with somebody all day? Your phone, getting notifications of somebody disagreeing with you over something that you do not like. I just don't understand it. You know how much stuff I see on Facebook that I'm not cool with, I don't like, or whatever. I just keep it moving because I'm not going out my way to say that I like it or write long paragraphs, two chapter books about how I hate something, and then got to debate with people all day long, your phone going off, making you unproductive, dealing with something that you claim, that you profess, that you hate. She's right about these haters. It's time to stop hating on each other. If you don't like it, move on. But if you feel you like it, encourage. We got people that won't even, encourage each other or say positive things about each other because for whatever reason, deep down inside, we envious. We hate on things that, I don't know, not even worthy of you hating, to be honest with you. And that's a real bad thing when you hate on stuff that truthfully isn't even worth your time hating on, but we do. I mean, I've been doing the podcast for like 3 years now. I'm pretty sure I got people out there that's close to me that's never even took time to go listen to it. You understand what I'm saying? Every time somebody come out with something on Facebook, they say, hey, I want you to join a page, or I got you, I want you to join a page. I at least take a few seconds to go see if it's something that I find interesting or not interesting, and then I move on. I'm not going to spend all day bashing it. But a lot of times it comes back down to when people hate on you or we hate on each other. Sometimes people just have that deep down unyielding fear that you're gonna surpass them or be better than them. And when it's not even about that, everybody kind of has their own lane, their own thing they doing. This is my particular thing. You might have your particular thing, and I don't care if you succeed. I want you to succeed. I want you to do good because it feels great to know that somebody you know or somebody that you've known or associated with at some point in their life is doing good. I'm not going to hate on them. I can't stand when people say, oh, they think they better than us now. They think they bougie. Because I had a few things go my way or I worked my ass off makes me bougie or makes me think I'm better than y'all. No, I don't think that I'm better than you. You think I'm better than you. All right, guys, we're going to leave it right there. Keep it locked right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where talk and music radio lives.
This is Atlanta's new underground station.
How you doing? This is Wood Harris.
Hi, this is Jasmine Guy.
What's going on in Atlanta? This is Clifton Powell.
Hey guys, it's Niecy Nash from TV Land's The Soul Man.
This is Cat Williams.
Check this out. This is your boy RL from NEXT.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lunel.
What's up, ATL? It's your girl Cannon Ken of Atlantic Records.
Hi, I'm Taraji P. Henson.
WBS 87 Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, WBHH, and on iHeartRadio, the home of the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Streaming online at BeatBreakRadioFM.com. Download the TuneIn app to hear Beat Break 87 FM on your mobile device and listen to the Beat Break Morning Show. Weekday mornings only on Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
What's up, ATL? Make sure that you check out the D Hill Radio Show on Beat Break 87 and BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. I tried to put it off, but I can't. It's so me. Tried to blame the other man, but I can't. It's so me. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Listen to Beat Break 87 FM on the go. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app from the app marketplace, including Amazon, Google Play, and the App Store. View photos, videos, and Beat Break 87 shows on your mobile device. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app now for free.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a boat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation? It's when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high and have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Wake up weekday mornings to the Beat Break Morning Show and nod your head in bed to the 360 Mix Show. Weeknights on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
To the podcast, guys. I'm your host Mario, right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where talk and music radio lives. And today we're kind of just gonna shoot from the hip, have an open forum, just gonna ask questions and answer, talk like we almost in our living room. And today's panelist, we have Haviland. She's a returning panelist. She's been on before. What's going on with you, Haviland?
I'm at work and you caught me with my mouth full.
That's one of the ones I definitely won't touch. Okay, we'll move on to Tyra. How you doing today, Tyra? She's a first-time panelist. What's going on with you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Everything's going well with me. I'm sitting here and enjoying the weather here in hot Atlanta.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Where are you? But you answered it already. Hot Atlanta. All right, with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. And my very first question, and I'm gonna go start with Tyra, since having to give you a chance to finish that up. It sounds good, but give you a chance to finish that up. How come? And this is a direct question that I always want to know. How come every time you guys try to talk to us, we always consider it nagging or or we just want to put the issues on. We always say, "God, she's always nagging." A 5-minute conversation turns into 30 minutes. Why is that, Tyra?
When you speak of you guys, you are referring to us females, correct?
Yes. You know, sometimes we say we could solve this in 2 minutes, but y'all take that and turn it into an hour conversation.
Well, you know, us women, we do love to talk, but we also like to be thorough. You know, give you a bunch of details to help you paint the picture of what we're trying to get across, the point that we're trying to get across. And I know you guys are like, okay, it's blah, 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 blah. But, you know, we as women, we just like to get a whole picture. And
Okay.
we're very detailed.
Okay. What about you, Havlin? Why we always think you guys are nagging?
I'm in the same boat with Miss Clark, because it's like we try to ask you the question in the simplest form, but then it turns out that, you know, y'all will give us this look like you don't understand. And so then we try to put it in another format, and then just trying to get you to understand where we're coming from. It's not trying to be nagging, but we want to make sure that you understand exactly what we're saying. So we don't sit here and have the misunderstandings that seem to come into play after the fact.
Okay, so when we had a misunderstanding, you know, one of the first things us men like to say about women, when we don't agree with y'all or when we break up with y'all, we'll tell anybody who's listening that she crazy. Why we always think y'all crazy? Man, she crazy. Why we do that?
You know, it's just difference of opinion. I mean, some people, you know, look at situations from a different set of lenses as other people do. What may be crazy to one person may not be crazy to all. But if you're not used to dealing with a female on that level and it's different, of course it's going to be out of the norm for you, and you would just think it's crazy. But to us, you know, if it's something like not crazy, like for example, trying to chase a man around the house and because he said this or he said that, you know, but something like as it regards like topics we may have a difference of opinions on. You know, if you never heard someone say it from their background or from their experience in a similar way, then it's out of the norm and you may think it's crazy.
What about you, Havlin? Have you heard guys say that, you know, man, she crazy? Like when you talk to a guy, what happened to you and your last girlfriend? Man, she was crazy.
I think it comes to the point where if it's something that the other party is not interested in, it's easier to say that she was crazy than to state the fact of why the relationship or why the situation didn't work out in the way that they wanted to. And to most people, it's their terminology as their understanding as to what you meant by crazy. So for a guy to tell another guy, well, you know, I had to leave that chick alone because she was crazy. Well, 9 times out of 10, you have to kind of look at it on both perspectives. Were they understanding of each other in a relationship, or was he wanting to do what he wanted to do and she wanted to do what she wanted to do, and then all of a sudden, here comes the controversy. And I feel like just like we had in our the last panel that I was in, most relationships go back to the communication aspect. Nobody wants to talk about it in a way that makes it easier for both parties to just say, okay, let's just get along.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. As women, do you guys kind of miss the way dating used to be as opposed to what it is right now?
Yes.
Of course, I definitely agree with her as well.
Okay, give me an idea how has dating changed for you guys?
In one perspective, you know, dating, you know, when I was coming up, you know, it's like we just didn't go straight. You know, I mean, a guy just didn't go straight to let's have sex or whatever the same night. They had the opportunity of learning about you, what you like. You had an opportunity in learning about him. What does he like? You know, it wasn't like a one night stand, all that stuff that's happening nowadays. You know, it was, I think it was fun. You know, you had something to look forward to. I believe it was, you know, it's quite different.
Havlin?
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I hate the fact of, you know, knowing that my child is going on a date and I don't even know who the dude is because nobody comes to the door. They will call you from the car. Hey, I'm outside. Okay, what happened to, you know, coming to the door, meeting the parents, you know, because my mom was real say, I don't care who you date. I just want to know who he is. So in case something happened, I know who to go look for.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now it's like everybody's meeting people, on every aspect of the game, social media. We got people dating on Facebook and all these dating websites. These people are getting rich off people meeting each other. And then half the time when you meet that person, it's not the person that you were talking to. I don't know how many times I've gone to, and I'm guilty of being on a dating site, and I hear guys saying, you know what, I'm God-fearing, and I want my woman to be this way and that way. But then when you actually meet them, they already trying to get in your pants. What happened to God? I had one guy here that told me the other day, I'm just going to pray for you. And just 5 seconds before that, he was just telling me what we were going to do when we go on our first date. I was like, okay, that didn't make quite sense to me, but if you want to pray for me, go ahead. I haven't heard from him anymore, but hey, thank you for the prayer.
But isn't it amazing that nowadays everybody has a mean keyboard game, but these are the same people that wouldn't talk to you if they saw you like at the mall or out and about, but behind the keyboard, everybody bold and just, make themselves seem just, so wonderful these days.
And that's what I try to tell people. I said, look, believe me, if they're telling you something on that keyboard that sounds too good to be true, 9 times out of 10, it is. And I said the same thing when you have that gut feeling when you meet somebody and you just kind of like, dang, it's just something just ain't right about this person. Go with your first gut, because 9 times out of 10, what they're spilling to you, I can best believe you on social media, they have spit that same game to somebody else. It's just that they're waiting on that person that is going to be the sucker to sit here and believe it. Because I can sit here all day and preach on Facebook, I got the house, I got the car, I got this, I got that. But they don't realize sooner or later, I'm going to have to see you in person. Unless you're going to be like some of these people on Catfish that, been talking to somebody for months and months. And I've seen some years and have never met. And then all of a sudden, when you go meet them, it's like, oh, my God, this is not. Yeah, okay.
Let me ask you this, Tyra. Have you ever tried online dating or dating off one of the social media sites?
I have been fortunate not to date online. A lot of people that I have dated were through friends of friends, someone that someone knew. Those who do it, I have no problems with it. That's what they choose to do. But as for myself, I have never done the dating online or any type of social media.
Okay. Well, let me tell you from a man's standpoint that even as a man, I miss certain things. I miss when we used to say, nice names about girls, honey, that's my boo, my baby. Now everybody refer to them so derogatory. You'd be like, especially now that you got kids and a daughter, you'd be like, look, if he can't refer to you in a certain way, then I don't understand how women deal with that. You know what I mean? It's just, I miss going out on dates. I don't want no prearranged, prices and all that. Let's just go get to know each other and see how things go. But now it just don't work like that. No. Y'all gotta have an arrangement, agreed upon before y'all even see each other. You know what I mean? And it's sad that our kids gotta not know what it feels like to actually be into somebody and them truly be back into you for the right reasons.
Exactly. I agree with you totally on that. I mean, it just takes the, romantic part out of it. It's nothing like you say. It's nothing like getting to know someone and just grow with them as you learn them and becoming the best of friends before you become anything else. I mean, that was a huge advantage that we had growing up. The respect thing just almost have like disappeared.
It's non-existent. Exactly. I mean, I can't stress enough that I see these women these girls, and I mean, even some women my age that are on Facebook in some of these groups, and I mean, they're ready to show all of their goods to somebody that you don't even know before you even get to know them. And I said, do you realize after you hit send, there's no taking that picture back. There's no way to get what you just gave somebody for free. And I said, you always hear that saying when we come up, why sit here and try to get the cow when the person all he wanted was a milk? Well, you got so many people giving away the milk, bump the cow.
Exactly.
And it's a sad state of affairs that, we have lost our daughters and our sons to a world where, what you want and what you tend to get are never the same thing, but you're willing to settle for just anything for the moment. And then when you see these girls getting heartbroken because they have fallen heads over heels and then find out that guy is nowhere near that guy that you were talking to online.
That's true. And again, I think it goes back to the basics. You know, we need to love ourselves and develop our self-esteem and just, you know, don't become desperate, you know, being a destitute mind where you could just sell it for anything. Because, you know, we're human beings. We're created to, you know, have companions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but we just have to be careful in doing so, you know, be wise. And we used to have older people to give us directions, you know, but nowadays, you know, older people are scared to talk to the younger ones, you know, fear that, oh, if I say something wrong, they may shoot my head off. I don't know, you know, but we have a disconnect somewhere in society as it goes, I mean, as it relates to relationships.
I mean, you find people that will spend more time trying to pick out the next pair of shoes they bought, they're going to buy, before they sit here and take the time to get to know the person they're willing to give their bodies up to.
And that's what I was about to say, that the thing you was talking about, that disconnect is because material things have replaced how a woman see about the temple, you know, her body is the temple. Now it's about, can I get that bag? Can I get those sneakers? Is he going to take me on this trip? Is it going to be a weekend getaway? And I'm not just putting this on the woman. It's the same for the guys too. Most guys, I mean, I don't know how it was back in the day, but I don't remember as many guys looking to move in with women 2 weeks after they met them back in the 90s. I mean, maybe it went on, but it just seems like it's rampant these days.
And what gets me even on that, for not only so the guys is willing to move in with someone that they just met in such a short period of time, how many women will open up their doors to somebody they don't know? And I'm looking at, okay, you have kids, and then on top of that, you have female kids, and you got this random guy that you just met moving in your house, and you know nothing about him. But then when you go down and look in the line of your child being touched or him looking at your child in a way, you didn't even screen him enough. And I said, I see, and I guess it makes me so sad when I sit here and see somebody saying, well, okay, my dad last week was Peter, and today it was John. And, you know, this is what I see on my job when I sit here and see these kids come to me and say, well, I didn't know who my dad was going to be from day to day.
And that's a sad reality, but a truthful reality. I mean, and like I was telling Tara before we did the show, this is why Random Select is so good. We start off one way and head down, you know, another road. But that's true. I mean, the ramifications of not knowing who you inviting into your home could be long lasting, because you know, some men, you know, could literally, while you at work, messing with your kids, you know, and it's a crazy way to think about that, but that's a reality of what's going on in this world today. We could turn on the news right now, within the next 3 or 4 days, we'll hear about somebody done touched the child. It's starting to happen, you know, all the time nowadays.
You know, when you have the young lady having the boyfriend to babysit the children, and you hear this on the news constantly, you know, the child, you know, died from the boyfriend beating them up, something in that nature. You know, now I'm looking for solutions. What do we do to fix our society? You know, what can we do as a community? You know, do we need to bring more mentoring programs in? Do we need to find strong leadership, whether it's in our, you know, in the Senate, Congress, our local church? You know, what would be the resolution for these issues? Because if not, our generation is definitely, you know, going to be, you know, gone. It's sad to say, but it's reality.
But these kids value money. These kids value money and things over everything now. You could talk to, I be hearing like 12, you know, 10-year-old kids, all they got to get that money. I'm a hustler. I'm a baller. I mean, we've done something to these kids where that's all they value now is everybody want to be ballers. Everybody want that money. Everybody want to hustle. Yeah. So how do we fix that?
I think we need to go back to the older times when you remember We grew up where they say it takes a village to raise a kid. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, I want my neighbor next door beating on my child if they see them doing wrong, but I do want somebody to take responsibility in my absence and know that my kid will be protected. And I said, you see so many, especially in the black neighborhoods, where, you know, you hear about all these people wanting to come in and volunteer to take the kids to this, but I don't know how many times in my community that it's always a white church that's coming into the black neighborhood to take the kids on these outings and, you know, vacation Bible schools where they're getting them all out in the field to do something positive. And I said, to sit here and look at these girls that are twerking with their daughters, you got the dad smoking with their sons. I'm like, what the heck are we doing, people? And I'm not going to sit here and say that that's the perfect thing, because I said, you know what, if I want my child to be safe, I'm not going to sit here and tell them they can't smoke. But at least I can sit here and say, in my point of view, I'd rather you smoke in my house because I know for a fact you will be safe in my house. But, you know, somebody may see that as different. But, I mean, right now we're in a world where it's always about where I can get that next $1,000 coming from, where I can get that next Michael Kors bag, where I can get my next Jordans. And if it means stealing, by all means, you best believe that's what they're going to do.
All right. And totally just switching gears and switching up really quick. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but what about the lady who got locked up and her kids got taken away because she beat them 3 boys, 13, 12, and 10 for breaking in a house, but they took her kids away because she disciplined her kids for breaking in a house.
That's sad.
I mean, we going too far when you starting to say parents can't discipline the kids no more. They broke in someone's house. Now, if the homeowner would have came home or the police would have killed those boys, it'd have been something different.
Oh, okay. A case in point. Go back to, I don't know if y'all remember back in Alabama where the girls was on Facebook, invited the black dudes to their house. Now, they knew what was going on. The granddad didn't know. But when he got in the house, he saw the 2 black dudes. Didn't ask questions, sat them down in the living room. One tried to get up, and he shot him. Then here we come with the race card. First of all, your kid didn't have any way to invite those boys over there. So what were you doing that they were on Facebook inviting guys over to the house? And then we had the parents going back and forth. Well, it's a race thing because she was mixed with black and white, and they were black. You wrong. You as the boy had no business going over in that woman's house, that man's house, 1 o'clock. Anyway, so if you were to talk to your son, look, ain't nothing open after 12 o'clock but Cadillac doors and whores. And if they looking like a Cadillac, okay, that goes to tell you where the girls are going.
That's right.
Anything you want to add to that, Tyra?
Sure. You know, going back to the situation that's at hand that you just mentioned about the young lady, I believe she's from New Orleans. But
yeah.
This is what happens when government get involved. If we as a people don't come together and, you know, go out there and try to enforce laws and rules where we can have the police and everybody else behind us to say, you know what, we can define abuse, you know, put limitations on it, but we have to find a way to discipline our children, because this is the result when government gets involved. Mm-hmm. You know, system catch them. Either way, they're going to jail or somebody dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, so, I mean, I understand what the young lady was doing. I think the whole world does. To some majority of the people do. Let me say that.
Well, what about the lady? Do y'all remember when the lady got put in jail because her husband had been abusing her? She shot at the ceiling and got locked up.
Oh, you talking about the one who they gave all this time because she tried to claim stand your ground, but they didn't let her.
She tried everything to get them to get that man out of her house because he had been abusing her for years. And every time they sat here and said that because of whatever the situation was, their hands were literally tied. So finally she had enough. And to get him off of him, she didn't shoot at him. She shot up at the ceiling. And she got just as much time for shooting at the ceiling than she did as far as shooting him.
Wow.
Well, all right. Before we wrap this up, guys, and I just want to ask, thinking about the lady and her kids, I want to ask this question. Honestly, I'm gonna start with you, Tyra. Do you think that we have sort of given kids way too much power these days? Way too much. rights. You know, now they can quote and say, I'm calling this and I'm doing that. And you can't touch your kids that you got to pay for, that you got to buy books for, clothes for, but somebody else tells you how to raise them. How do you feel about that?
I mean, as a society, yes, they have given children too much rights. You know, they're young, they still need to find their way, but they need parents as guidance, you know, good parents. And when when we grew up, you know, our parents, you know, with us, did what they had to do. And if the neighbor caught you doing something, they hit you too, you know. And the police would say, well, you know, you shouldn't have been doing this. You need that, you know, because, you know, when I was growing up, they'll say, you know, you don't do that. But they wouldn't have
Yeah.
But the government, I mean, this is what happened when we don't bring our children up, you know, to respect each other and themselves mostly, that, you know, the government get involved. And when the government get involved, they set the rules, and the police enforce the rules that the government have put in place, which bring a divided society. Because not everyone is like that. Not all children are like that, you know. But when the world have to raise our children, this is the result.
And that's why I say in this country, and I've talked about this with my friends, mostly my male friends, I said we need to have something what we call common sense court. Not nothing that has laws and stuff, but just common sense stuff where you just say, you know what? You go to McDonald's, you waste hot coffee in your lap, and you try to sue McDonald's. You say, okay, get your ass out of here. Common sense. You shouldn't have dropped the coffee in your lap. You know what I mean? We need common sense court where we can stop everybody sue for everything now.
If you notice, everything that comes on TV, I've just seen things, they were talking about Johnson's baby powder. How long have we been using Johnson's baby powder?
Oh, God.
Now
I mean, forever.
They're talking about suing Johnson, the people that made Johnson's, I think it's Johnson's baby powder and Shower to Shower, because they knew it was talc in the powder. And now they're talking about it could cause cancer. And I was like, are you serious? I done used Johnson baby powder since I was a knee high to a duck's butt. I ain't got cancer. Where y'all get y'all Johnsons at?
But that's what I'm saying. We need common sense court, because the lady, yeah, she may have, you know, left a mark on the child, right? And I ain't saying that nobody should beat their kids, but she got 3 boys. You know, one is a teenager, one is 12, one is 10. You got to take control of that before them boys get out of hand, because you know at a certain point they're gonna be taller than her. So she got to try to establish, because the husband, their dad is in prison, so she got to establish that she ain't playing around early with them kids. And now, you know, they probably giving them all type of counseling while they taking away. When they come back and she get out of jail, she ain't gonna have a leg to stand on with them kids.
No, because they already deprogram their mind and then program it with what they believe that, you know, they should be privileged to.
Yep. And you know, they probably told them, if she ever try this again, here's a number to call, or here's something, you know. So now they've taken all the power out this lady's household.
They have.
You know, so I mean, all right, y'all. I know everybody is having us at work, and I know
I'm sitting out on the deck enjoying this view. Let me go ahead, finish.
All right, guys, we'll be right back to wrap up the show after the break. And don't forget, guys, to catch the Beat Break Morning Show right here mornings on Beat Break 87 FM. And you also got the D Hill Show, and you also got the 360 Mix Show. And on Sundays, you can get on board the Gospel Train. So I really don't have a format for what's coming up tomorrow, guys. Like I said, we might have relationship experts on most of the week. Like I said, Rick Soderbergh, Quinette Woobadoo, and Tony Henderson Mayers, who is the author of The Wise Courtship Philosophy. So we might just go back and forth with that for the time being. So let me know if you're enjoying these segments. Leave a comment on Facebook. Let us know, beatbreakradiofm.com. Make sure that you're listening on TuneIn, guys. Go to the beatbreakradiofm.com and find different links to the different platforms that you like, and share people. Let people know that we're out here. Let people know that we're chugging along. We got something interesting to say. we would definitely appreciate it, guys. The Random Select Podcast has been doing podcasts for 3 years, guys, and it's been a great ride. Love what I'm doing, and I love the fact that I get an opportunity to be on Beat Break 87 FM, providing thought-provoking talk for you guys. So once again, let people know that it exists, and give us some feedback on social media. Let us know what type of shows you would like for us to do, what type of content, topics, and things of that nature, and we'll just take it from there. You're listening to Mario inside of the Random Select Podcast right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where talk and music radio lives.
Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Hi, this is Clifford English, your host and producer of The Gospel Train. Join me every Sunday right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. You will be encouraged, you will be equipped, you will be educated, you will be entertained, all while hearing the best in gospel music. Don't miss your connection with The Gospel Train right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a boat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela!
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high and have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Beat Break 87 FM wants to help you get the word out on your next community event.
Hey, do you have an upcoming public service announcement that you want listeners to know about? Well, email us the info to psabeatbreak87fm@gmail.com so we can help spread the word. That's psabeatbreak87fm@gmail.com. If your event flyer has the words nonprofit, community, support, charity, and just describes everything about helping our community, please share the special event right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
When it comes to hip-hop,
Don't stop.
R&B, and talk radio, no one does it better than Beat Break 87 FM.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Coming to you talking about a situation that we saw on Facebook where this little girl was talking to her grandmother and cussing, and it just makes us ask the question in general. Where are we going in today's society with raising our kids? You know, I see a lot of videos on Facebook with a lot of boys, you know, swinging on and hitting their mom and things of that nature. And I just recently did a podcast saying, I know the man isn't there, but you still could teach the kid to be respectful to you first and foremost and to other people. And I'm joined today by a very special guest, K-Ron. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing just fine. And yourself?
I cannot complain. Before we go any further, can you please tell the people a little bit more about you, like where you're calling from and things like that?
Okay. Yes, my name is K-Ron. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I am a mother of 4, grandmother of 7. I've been a beautician for about 25 years and kind of disturbed by what I saw on the Facebook post myself.
I can definitely understand that. I mean, it is a little disturbing considering the fact, because I asked the question, you know, I guess grandmamas have all gone now, you know, and you say you're a grandmama of 7. Now, let me get your opinion on this. What if one of your grandkids, even though, and I'm not saying that one of your grandkids would do this, but what would be the reaction from you if this happened?
Well, I'm old school, and I raised my kids the same way, and thank God that my kids raise their kids with respect from the time they're able to even talk or make contact or communication. But if this was my child, we would have to stop it right there in the track. I'm not against spanking, but I do know that a child is do what they're brought up and what they're allowed to do. So that wouldn't even be something that they would be allowed to do.
And I noticed that a lot of people in the comments, you know, said that, and I agree that if that little girl was comfortable to say this like that, that means that, because she repeated it, which means that no one came in to stop her, no one, and they was laughing. That means this is something that they've grown accustomed to this kid doing. So let me just play the clip so people can have a better understanding of what we're talking about. Check this out, guys.
Yeah, thought I get mad at you? Are you talking shit? You stop talking that. Help me, Jesus. Are you talking shit, Mama? Are you talking shit? Did you hear? I can tell you mine. Are you talking shit to me? You talking shit to me? Whoa, you got right.
What do you feel about how comfortable they were with this little girl? I mean, she repeated it. It's not like she said it once and it went away. She got away with saying it again.
And yeah, I think that's something that she's heard either from her parent, her mother, because when she made the statement to her grandmother, she said, she was starting to say, "Don't let me tell Mama." But for her grandparent to sit there and laugh, I think it's a generational issue. These day and times we have grandmothers that are young, you know, they have their kids young and then their kids have kids. So grandparents are in their 30s, early 40s, and a lot of this stuff that they're seeing their kids do, they think it's cute, you know. Like you said, there's other posts on Facebook that I've seen, a little boy cussing like he's a 40-year-old truck driver, and the parents sit and laugh and think it's cute. But it's causing problems, and if we don't get a hold of it, you know, our generation, our race as a whole, we're doomed. It's sad, you know, but I just think it's something that was accepted and thought of as a joke, which will later on turn into something that's not too funny.
Yeah, and we're not sitting here saying that this is the interpretive or indicative of the way that the majority of black people raise their kids. We're not saying that. We're saying that this one particular incident lets you know that things still can be done different out there. People are still not putting these kids in check. And then later on down the line, especially when it comes to boys, you ask questions of how this boy got like this when now all of a sudden he want to rob people and doing home invasions and all this stuff. And you say, okay, how does boy get like this? And sometimes, not all cases, but sometimes it go from there not being checked from early. And I can't imagine what this little girl is going to be like when she get around 15, 16, 17, when kids start smelling themselves, you know?
Right. And I see there being future issues if he's not gotten it, you know, if it's not shut down or turned or changed with her. I see issues with schools, with authority, you know. So it starts at home, and for a grandparent to sit and laugh at it, you know, that's scary.
Yeah, for the simple reason that the way probably you and I grew up, the grandparent was like the matriarch, you know what I mean? If wherever
right.
Sometimes the parent may have fallen short, the grandmama or the granddad took up the slack, and you know, they would help, you know, kind of spoil your kids, but at the same time, you know, keep your kids in line too, you know? So
right. And you know, when you say that, it reminds me of me growing up, you know, when I met my grandparents, because I'm from a military family. So when we moved to the state where my grandparents were, I remember being introduced to my grandparents, and, you know, they asked me a question, and I said yes. And I remember my parents said yes. Yes, what? And I knew automatically I messed up as yes, ma'am. You know, these are things that are taught from the time you start talking. And like you said, it taught from your parents and your grandparents or any authority figure, you know, that your child is around. So it takes a village, but it is something that is taught from the time your child starts talking.
Okay, well, that's a perfect transition into me asking you another question. Since we're on the whole children and raising kids, how do you feel about this whole movement where parents are literally trying to be their kids' friends? You know, buddy and the girls and stuff are going to get their hair and nails done with the kids, spending the same amount of money on an 8-year-old girl in the nail salon as you. Do you have any opinions on that?
Yeah, I do. I raised 6 kids. I birthed 4.
Okay.
And 5 out of the 6 were girls. I didn't
had your hands
the nails and me being a beautician, I always kept the hair up. But even not just saying hair and nails, these expensive tennis shoes and the things that your kids ask for that they're not deserving of, I think that's causing, you know, our kids to feel like they're entitled.
Yes. Yes.
I don't, you know, like I told my kids, this is what I have for your school clothes. Now, if you want anything over there, you're going to have to get a job and work for it. But there were certain ages, like my mother said for me with my daughters, no makeup until you're 16, and then we're just trying it out. Nails and things like that, I'm not paying for it. Now, if that's something you want, it's considered extra. You're going to have to get a job, or you're going to have to do extra chores in order to earn extra allowance. But I don't feel like if I go to work every day and I don't wear name brand, and I work every day and pay the bills, then you're not going to wear name brand unless you're working and paying for it yourself. So I think a lot of times we do stuff for our kids that they don't deserve. Their grades are not deserved. You have to fuss to get them up just to empty the trash, and they feel entitled to these things. And when you can't do it, then you have feedback and back talk and all this kind of stuff. You know, our generation, it's just like they stop sparing the rod or giving a punishment that equals the crime or the disciplinary problems they're having in school. So I think that's a lot of our problems now. These kids feel entitled to a lot of stuff that they're not entitled to.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And part of and me and my friends talk about this a lot, you know, when it comes to kids, because like you said, I have 4 girls as well, you know, so, and not all of them were, and I believe in, you know, whooping kids. I don't believe in beating kids and abusing kids. It's a big difference, you know what I mean? But I don't believe in that whole, cause some kids, depending on what their temperament is and their personality is, you don't have to whoop all kids. Some kids are just going to do right, you know, without you having to whoop. You could take stuff from, put them on punishment. To them, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen.
Exactly.
But some kids they just push you and push you and push you until that you end up having to put your hands on them and stuff like that. And and I say this, when the kids start feeling like they're your equal and entitled, like if you go out and you say, okay, I'm going out to get me something to eat, and they say, why you didn't bring me none? Like they pay bills. And I've seen kids question their moms and their dads, like, and the mom and dad answer back like I don't know, like they're their supervisor or something, you know. And when I was coming up, it was simply one phrase. Why I got to do this? Cause I said so. And if you heard cause I said so, you already done went too far from that point. You know. So now you see kids going back and forth with the parents, and the parents will sit down and literally explain to them from A to B stuff. And I don't know. It irks me. I know.
I'm like you on that. I'm in a shop, you know, I see a lot of things, but I know when we were growing up, we weren't allowed to say the word lie. Mm-hmm. Or if you're talking about your behind, we couldn't say your tail. You know, just certain words that just were disrespectful. But I've actually seen kids, Mama, you lied, you know, and I have to catch myself to say, oh no, because I'm waiting for something to happen. But, you know, I agree with you also, you know, raising 6 kids. You can tell, you know, most of them to go do whatever or give them their chores, and you never have to worry about it. You're going to have that one that you have to stay on, you know. Yep. And it just goes to show all kids are different. I don't care if you raise them all the same.
Yep.
They're all different. Their characters are different. So there might be some you have to lean on a little bit more than the other. There might be some that, you know, you get a good result out of by taking the phone or, you know, the television. And then there's some that you just have to just, you know, look, down in the room. I meet you in the room. But, you know, you have to have interaction with your kids. You have to communicate. And I'm with you. I'm not answering no questions. When I tell you what I need, that's the end of the conversation. But now, like you say, you have parents that answer the kids or give a reason why they can't have something. And it's like the roles have reversed. Yeah. You know, so that, that is, it's sad to see, but it's very much so happens.
Yeah. And I tell my friends, and we always talk about this because we, you know, I got a couple friends that we've been friends literally since we was like 12 years old. And we all say the same thing when people say, you know, I'm going to, you know, he got a spanking. And we was like, we don't know what that is, because if spanking is worse than getting your ass whooped, we'll take spanking any day. Because when I was coming up, nobody spanked you. You got an ass whooping.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What's a spanking? We don't know what that is.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's true. It's funny. You say, you know, it's true, but you have to laugh at it. But, you know, I remember my parents and my kids were the same way. You know, this is what I need done. And if it wasn't done when you heard that car pull up, you running like, because it's going to be done before she hit that door.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it wasn't, something was going to happen. You know, it might not always been a spanking, but it's going to be something that you felt, you know, as far as your feelings or something. But kids are not held accountable anymore, you know. And I'm not saying all kids, but there's a lot. And I see it a lot, you know, and it just makes you, it's mind-boggling, because you're like, wow.
And I would imagine that you do see it a lot, because like you said, you're in the hairdressing and you're right there on the front lines of seeing people come in with their kids and stuff like that. So I would imagine that you do see things, and a lot of the things is just what you said. It's just literally no accountability. They could be doing bad in school. They could be hard-headed and disrespectful. We still go out and get them. And I'm not, let me just say this, people, before I go any further. I'm not saying that I'm holier than thou, and I'm not saying that I haven't been there to spoil my kids. And that's why this statement I'm about to say is we, because I've done this too. They'll be bad in school. Have bad grades, we'll still go out and get them Jordans. We'll still go get them stuff for Christmas. They'll say, oh, my friend's having a party. We still want to take them and give them rides and stuff like that. Because I remember growing up, my mom, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, especially getting in her car, you wasn't going anywhere if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you know. And now I could just remember growing up when I did stuff because I just didn't want to hear her mouth. You know what I mean? Not because I was scared or anything like that. You know what? I don't want to hear her complain. These kids don't even take that attitude where you just say, you know what? Let me go and take this trash out because I don't want to hear her run her mouth. They don't even take that. They'll just sit down and then, you know, this whole counting down stuff. I can't stand it like you work for NASA or something. Count down for kids and then no kid ever get up on 5 or 9. They always wait till you get to the very last number to do something. I couldn't imagine making my mama wait after she tell me to do something. You know what I mean?
Right. And, you know, a lot of that is from respect. You know, when you're brought up in a house, you notice your parents working hard out of respect. And you know, after a while, my mom was a single mom. And I just knew when I came home from school, if it was the meat in the sink, I'm supposed to put dinner on, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, we don't hold them accountable, and then it's like we paying them for bad behavior. And once you do that for so long, a kid just feel entitled to have whatever it is that he or she wants. And, you know, in the society that's coming up now, and like you say, I'm in the business of, you know, that I do hair. I see a lot of families come in, the fathers come in for their son's haircut, mothers come in. And it's a lot of times, you know, after the mother drops her daughter off with all this hair that she done paid to put in her head, I'm listening to this child on the phone, and I'm like, oh, my God, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just, you got to pay more attention to your kids. You just do. And like I said, it takes a village. That makes the grandmothers younger. And they want to be friends with their kids. And, you know, like I told mine, I'm not your friend. I'm your mama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to enforce it, you know. So, you know, that's just I don't know, the world that we're coming into, you know. And I thank God for the parents that do take the time to discipline their kids, to go up to the school and check on their kids. You know your child. If you have problems with them at home, you know they're having problems with them at school.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you said that. And that was going to be my next thing I was going to get into. If you any kind of parent, right? Like you said, you had girls and I had girls, and I know the temperament of each and every one of them girls. You know what I mean? I know my kid. I know the one who going to come in here can stare me down and look me right in my face and tell me a lie and look like, you know, that it's the truth. But I know she lying.
Right.
You know, I know and she knows she lying, but she won't break or sweat. And I know that one who can't lie to me no matter what she do. You know what I mean? So you know your kids. So if you know your kid is a certain way, why would you go up to the school fighting and cussing and doing all that yelling when sometimes you be wrong? How about you just see what happened first, gather the information in, and I'll be damn if I'm going up to a school and me and my kid gonna fight a teacher together.
Exactly. I mean, you're in the schoolhouse and you're teaching them one of the worst lessons you can teach them. You know, because after that, there's no respect, you know, for authority. It has to start somewhere. So if they're not doing it at home and at school, you can look forward to paying lawyers, you know, because they're not going to respect anyone.
Yep. Which brings me back to the original thing we were talking about, people. This little girl, she was cussing on Facebook, and she was talking to her grandma. And it makes me wonder who was doing the filming, and one, and two, why would they put it up?
Yeah.
It just truly makes me wonder, why would they do that? Because nothing good can come from this, you know, because, you know, like I know, somebody know who that is. Somebody know the family, somebody know that little girl. So, in today's world, it don't take long for this to all come back full circle the way social media work these days.
Right.
So.
And yeah, it really is disturbing, because when she made the comment to her grandmother, she turned around and looked at her grandmother and said, "Are you going to talk to me? Like, you hear me telling you this, you know?" So it hit, at that point, they let me know that this is something that goes on quite often. And I don't know if grandmama has made a game out of it, but it's just not funny.
I don't know how you can make a game out of a little girl being this disrespectful, because this type of thing grows up to be the type of the kid that you just can't control. Eventually, you're going to be calling the police, or that's if she ain't running away every 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Because you can't tell her nothing after a certain point, you know, because even if you do right by kids and you try to raise them the best way you know how, sometimes you have a problem child, no matter, I don't even want to call them problem child, but just a free-spirited child who feel that she just want to do things the way she want to do things. And I know I had a daughter like that no matter what, she just felt that being popular and out in them streets is just the thing she wanted to do, you know, no matter how we raised them, you know what I mean? So combined, if she already that type of girl and you ain't have no restraints on her, I can't imagine what my daughter who was like that was if she didn't have no discipline in her life. God help her.
Yes, that's basically setting up for failure. That, to me, that's what, because the way she's going, she's going to have a tongue on her. And as a teenager, when they do reach the rebellion years, you're not going to be able to control her. You're not going to be, she's going to be running your house. And like you said, you'll be the first one to call the police, to put the police in her life. And then what? You're setting her up for failure. You can't expect for her to get out there and her foundation is shaky, because she don't have one to stand on. That's, you know, it was accepted.
Yep. So, and that's to be honest, that's the polite side of it. You know, we ain't getting to the point of, and I don't even want to speak that on that baby, because to be honest with you, she's still just a baby. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's not even getting to the fact of bringing, when she get old enough to have babies, bringing a ton of babies in there. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I mean, and that's just not putting nothing on her. That's just, we just talking about the possibilities of what could go wrong. And that's a realistic thing that could go wrong. You know, we've all known people, had people in our family that by the time they turn 21, got 3 or 4 kids. It happens.
It's true. And, you know, another thing you were saying, like you said, you have that one daughter. I also had that one daughter. Mm-hmm. But you still be a parent. You still parent them. You still instill discipline in their life, because once they become older, they're going to appreciate that.
Yep.
A kid knows when they're loved and when they're disciplined. And when you let them get away with that, they don't feel loved. They're going to find somebody that will discipline, and God forbid it's the wrong person.
Yes, ma'am.
That's how they end up in these bad relationships and things like that. So a kid, no matter if you have to, you know, get on them more than you do the others, or, you know, put that foot on them, or, you know, not meaning put the foot on them, but, you know,
I know what you
punishment and this and that. Once they get older, they will appreciate that. They'll let you know, my mama didn't play that, you know, rather than saying, oh, my parents didn't care, you know. Yeah. And that does make a difference after they grow. A lot of our kids, you know, even though you raise them the same, they're different. And it takes a stronger hand on some than others. But they will appreciate that once they grow up. They'll come back. Those are the ones that come back and say, yeah, Mama, I know you didn't play that, and I'm so glad that you did this, that, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because it lets them see what it really takes to be a parent, rather than you playing with them and trying to be their friend, and then they end up somewhere that you can't help them.
Yeah. I remember when I was 25, I remember I moved out soon as I graduated high school, I was like, I'm out of here. I can't stand these rules. I'm getting the hell on, you know. And about I don't know, maybe 6 months to 7 months later, I was back at my mom's house because I was young, didn't know how to manage bills, and had a roommate, and we were just living life, you know.
Right.
And before you know it, I was right back there. We lost the apartment because I never knew anything about life. You know what I mean? I just thought, I just knew I was ready to get out my mama's house. And sometimes,
I think that's all teenagers.
yeah, and sometimes that's when you go back and you really look at life and you apologize to your mama them for some things you've done. You apologize and say, you know what? I never realized how easy my life was here. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You never realize till you get out on your own, because somebody else out here working for this money to put that money in the refrigerator. Food in the refrigerator, keep these lights on. And then the first chance I get out to go have to do all that, I couldn't even handle it.
And my mom was the same way. And we were, I can't wait to get out. And she said, okay. But you know what I learned from that? When I started having children, I used to tell them, starting in elementary, you're going to have to come up, what do you want to be? Talk to me. You're going to have to start thinking about it, because at 18, you got to go. And I don't mean I'm putting you in the street. I mean you got to go to college. You got to have some type of plan. Because I can't feed you. I raised 6 kids, so let's talk about this, And I started feeling, and as they started coming out of school, they understood, and we went and looked at colleges. I had one to go to the military, the others went to college, and they tell me now, I sit and laugh with them now, because a lot of stuff that I didn't know they were paying attention to, they weren't. And they'll repeat some of the stuff I said, and we'll laugh about it, but they was like, we understand now. Mm-hmm. We understand, because they look at some households and the kids are still at home with their parents with kids. And I told them, I can't allow that. Y'all going to have to get up and be productive and have your own life. And you can't, I'm not saying you can't pay bills working at McDonald's, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be damn hard.
With kids at a young age, instilling in them that you got to make a move. You got to have something to fall on. And a high school education is not going to get it. You can do it, but it's going to be extra hard on you. And so, like I say, not with discipline, but even with their life, and helping them come up with goals and dreams so they can have something to fall back on, or something to reach for, to achieve, so they can raise their kids, because that's what it is. It's a cycle. You go to school, you grow up, you have a family, so you have to just start with your babies coming out of the womb. Teach them, talk to them, raise them, and show them. Lead by example. You can't teach them when you're out doing everything, running the streets and doing everything, and they see that, and then you expect for them to be successful. So, I just want to put that in there also.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. People, the Random Select is out. Thank you for listening right here on Beat Break 87 FM, where talk and music radio lives, Atlanta's new underground station. Until tomorrow, guys.
This is Atlanta's new underground station.
How you doing? This is Wood Harris.
Hi, this is Jasmine Guy.
What's going on in Atlanta? This is Clifton Powell.
Hey guys, it's Niecy Nash from TV Land's The Soul Man.
This is Cat Williams.
Check this out. This your boy RL from NEXT.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lunel.
What's up, ATL? It's your girl Ken of Atlantic Records.
Hi, I'm Taraji P. Henson.
WBS 87 Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, WBHH, and on iHeartRadio, home of the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Streaming online at BeatBreakRadioFM.com. Download the TuneIn app to hear Beat Break 87 FM on your mobile device and listen to the Beat Break Morning Show. Weekday mornings only on Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
What's up, ATL? Make sure that you check out the D Here Radio Show on Beat Break 87 and BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. I tried to put it off, but I can't. It's on me. Tried to blame the other man, but I can't. It's on me. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Listen to Beat Break 87 FM on the go. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app from the app marketplace, including Amazon, Google Play, and the App Store. View photos, videos, and Beat Break 87 shows on your mobile device. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app now for free.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a boat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high to have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Wake up weekday mornings to the Beat Break Morning Show and nod your head in bed to the 360 Mix Show. Weeknights on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.